Nithyanandam, guys, welcome back to the Kundalini Yogini. This is Prasiddha. So excited and happy to be with you guys again today. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe if you're interested in learning about conscious living and spirituality in our modern world. So I wanted to go into a thought current that I really just wanted to share with you guys personally, and that I hope can be used as a helpful tip for you guys on your path and your journey to the ultimate for yourself, whatever that means for you. And I just want to preface this by starting off with something which I do share on other videos, but some of you guys might not have heard, and that is that I truly believe and am a proponent of the fact that everybody has their own individual paths to the realization of the ultimate, the divine, God, consciousness, source, whatever you want to call it. And I really understand, and Sanatana Dharma, what most people refer to as Hinduism, right, has taught me this, because within it, every framework exists. There is no one God, there is no one belief system, and there's complete movement within the framework to believe whatever that you want, whatever that you connect to. So I just wanted to bring up something which really just hits home for me, and that I see so many of you guys and other people that I know in person suffering with. So I just want to tell you guys today, you are not a sinner, and God is not separate from you. Repeat this again. You are not a sinner, and God is not separate from you. And this might sound like nothing, surface level, but I don't think most of us understand how deeply the opposite belief has been inserted in us. The fact that we are born as sinners, that somehow as human beings we could be wrong innately, or that we, at least in the course of our lifetime, we have sinned, we've made mistakes, and carrying that guilt with us every day, each and every day. And secondary, that whatever we are is not God, okay? Whatever I am, whatever the crap I deal with, right? Whatever the things that are boiling and churning inside of my mind and inner space, that's not God, okay? That's ugly, right? God is something else. God is perfect, right? God is only good. God is all these qualities which we think are the highest, right? And this is where we go wrong in our spiritual path, because there's no way we can ever go past a certain threshold of evolution, of our conscious evolution, without breaking this fundamental belief system. If we're always cherishing the fact that we are separate from the ultimate, separate from the source, and something which will never compare to that source, how can we ever be in perpetual happiness, not to mention be completely liberated, go beyond the cycles of birth and death, reach what we call enlightenment, self-realization, nirvana, moksha, right? How could we even begin to start that journey if we're still believing that we are a human being, and not only that, we are an imperfect product. We are something which is flawed, innately flawed. And so I just want to share with you guys today, and I'll try to keep it short, although I always joke with Drita, I have a problem doing that. I can never make videos under 10 minutes, like it's so hard for me, but that's okay, that's beautiful, right? That's just a part of my consciousness. And just like that, we need to understand that God is what we understand as the ultimate, right? Let's talk about that for a second. What we understand God or source or creation or that cosmic consciousness to be, that cosmic intelligence to be, is, right, unconditional love. I think most religions, philosophies, and spiritual paths can agree on that one thing, right? We believe that the source of everything, though, at the end of the day, right, the fundamental source is unconditional love. And so if that unconditional love is truly that, unconditional, projecting our human understandings, our human logic, our human consciousness onto it is never going to work, guys. Come on, it is never going to work, because that's like thinking that we can solve quantum physics with algebra, right? it doesn't add up. And we cannot map a God, we cannot map source, that infinite potential energy, in the human language, in the way that our mind works and understands. So understand, you're never going to understand what God is, but also understand that source is such an unconditional love. It's something we have never experienced in the material world, or I should say almost never experienced in the material world. We get glimpses of it here and there, right? Maybe when our son or daughter is born, that moment where you see that being that you created, right? And you feel that love. Or when you're falling in love with someone and you feel like they are this ultimate experience in your life, and you're just so amazed and intrigued by everything that they do, and they're just this most miraculous creature to you, right? We taste glimpses of it, but we lose it. We hold on, we let go of it. And so we think, because we have experienced love that way, that that's the same way that God loves. We project our human consciousness onto that source. So we need to understand that that source is much, much beyond our understandings and our capacity of love, and that source is 100% unconditional and 100% accessible inside of us. My guru once said, and I'll never forget this one, I loved how he said this, that the people that he meets that are closest to enlightenment, that are closest to that realization, that liberation state, pure bliss, are people that have not searched for God, but searched for themselves. People that have looked within have gotten closer to realizing God than those who look without. And so on your spiritual path, no matter what it is, whatever religion that you fall into or spirituality that you fall into is perfect for you. But just know that if anything ever tells you you are separate from that source, that's leading you astray. That's going to lead you down the path of untruth. So always just follow the space inside of you, and that space will always be there. Don't doubt your own capacity for it, your own intuition. That space will always be there for you. Just remember and look into that space and ask yourself, does this hit me as truth inside? Because real truth, it will hit you. It'll hit you really hard, right? And that will continue to guide you into the experiences of that space of oneness with the source, experiences of yourself as the ultimate. And I can tell you from my own experience of being gifted with those experiences throughout the last 5 years, dozens of times where I have felt pure oneness with the source, complete loss of self, loss of ego. It is not something to be scared of, and it is beautiful beyond your wildest dreams. And it proves, of course, without a shadow of a doubt, that source intelligence, that God, that creator force does very much exist, and that we are it. We are part of it. There is no separation. And again, actually, my guru said one other really profound thing that I'll leave you with, and that is, there is not a difference in quality between you and God, or you and guru, or you and, these enlightened beings or masters. There's only a difference in quantity, not quality. The source of us is the same as the source of them. The source of us is the same as the source of the Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, Swamiji, Paramahamsa Nithyananda. The source material is the same. The quantity is just different. They're able to reflect a larger quantity because they've crossed those bridges. They've gone beyond the mind and body, but the quality is the same. The quality is the same. You are that same quality. You are Sadashiva, Paramashiva, the source consciousness. Shivoham, Paramashivoham is the mantra. I am that source. I am the source of all. So if there's anything that you're going to repeat to yourself, I'd say repeat those things. And I can tell you that I think with using those, you will have the world's strongest compass in your hand to guide you to liberation. With those compasses of that you are not separate. You are one with all, with the source, with God, with consciousness, and that you are not a sinner. You were made beautifully, beautifully as you are, and there's nothing that will ever change that. So anyways, rant over. I got to 10 minutes. I told you guys I probably would fail at that, keeping it under 10, but I'll cut it here. I love you all. Have a beautiful week, and I'll connect with you guys next week in the next video. Nithyanandam, guys. By the way, I just wanted to say, if you're ever wanting to see or hear from me more, in case for some reason you like hearing my voice that much, you can check out my Instagram. I'm actually super active on there nowadays, especially on my Instagram stories. So if you're ever wanting to hear more about updates, I do post little videos on there. I share a lot of my personal life on there, so you can follow me there as well.